I know I just recently dropped a video on the reaction to Jermaine Ortiz versus Teofimo Lopez fight, but this is what I find funny. And I don't really see too many people talking about this. Instead, we're talking about a Tank Davis versus Conor Benn fight, which proves even further that Gervonta is just a watered-down Canelo in the way he moves and everything else. By a Canelo type requisite, which is also a Gervonta Davis type requisite, which is why you want to fight Conor Benn to begin with. I think the bigger fight, especially here in the States, actually is the Teofimo Lopez fight. They have history. We saw him in sparring, although it wasn't really real sparring. Gervonta Tank Davis was kind of holding back. He was actually bigger than Teofimo at that time, and that video surfacing on the net. You guys can go watch that. But I think it's a very good fight, and it finally puts a legitimate name on Tank Davis's resume. People may disagree with that. They'll say Leo Santa Cruz and whoever other clown, fight that they were willing to make. But I think, and especially for all those people that are hating on Teofimo Lopez right now, I mean, do you really think a Floyd Mayweather and a Leonard Ellerbe would maybe be confident in that fight or making it? I think Teofimo Lopez does have a big enough name. It's bigger than Isaac Cruz and Rolly Romero and people like that easily. So if you're willing, we're in a conundrum again where, PBC was more willing to make fights like Sean Porter and even Ugas, which make more business sense by their claims than a Terrence Crawford fight. But we're at this again. You finally get to fight a legitimate name on and have it on your resume. A guy who has very good accolades already collected, and he's younger than Tank, mind you. He, to me, has a better career, better resume, however you guys want to cut it, than Gervonta Tank Davis. That's even with the losses and the mishaps. Again, you could say that Tank lost to Isaac Cruz. Again, for all the people that are going to come on here pumping their chest, do you really think Floyd Mayweather and LRB would want Tank Davis in that fight? They are the older guy. They should be more experienced. But in this case, these are people that I don't even think would want to fight a Lomachenko right now, let alone Teofimo Lopez. That's just my opinion. But I just want to hear what you guys think about this. I think it's the perfect time to make this fight. And let's forget about the Conor Benn fight. Again, who cares? Honestly, I don't. And I'm not trying to hate on UK fans, but what is the purpose of that fight? You're going to now move up 2 weight classes to fight him? And what is it? Are you going to try to put a rehydration clause on him, just like Hero Canelo and everything else? Weight train him during the fight too? He can only fight at this certain weight. I just think it's buffoonery. Why even go through all that trouble? And again, what sanctioning body is going to, I guess, add a belt to that fight? I mean, I just don't see what the true significance of that truly is. I really don't. It makes no sense to me whatsoever. Why is there even an interest or a calling for that fight? I think Conor Benn would be a good get-back fight for Errol Spence, who we don't know what he's up to, although he's in the gym training, but those guys are both at the 147-pound limit, unless Spence is trying to move up to 154 now. Again, why make a fight that doesn't make sense, like a Tim Tszyu versus Keith Thurman? You have a good fight right there in front of you. And if you guys are a little shook, Tank is supposed to be a pound for pound top 10 fighter, according to a lot of people. So I don't see no problem making this fight, other than the fact that you would have to work with Bob or whatever else, who I know would be more than willing to put Teofimo Lopez in with Tank Davis. As long as Tio and their team don't try to overprice themselves and things like that, they got to be realistic, because they've had issues in the past when they went to Trilla because they were looking after a big payday, But 140, especially since you just opened your mouth and you're willing to move up 2 weight classes to challenge Conor Benn, there should be no weight stipulations or nothing. People are doubting Teofimo Lopez right now. I think that is the fight right now to be made. Teofimo Lopez versus Tank Davis. Again, a guy whose weight class, I don't even know what weight class, just like his coach. Where are we going to fight at? They were pretty scared and shook when it came to Devin Haney. You guys now don't know what weight class you want to fight, but you're willing to move up 2 weight classes for Conor Benn. Again, none of this stuff makes sense. I want to see the Teofimo Lopez fight versus Tank Davis. And I don't care what people think. I think Teofimo wins that fight. You know what I'm saying? It's just a difference in styles. This is a guy who only fights in spurts, just like his hero Canelo. I don't see what you guys claim you see in Tank Davis, okay? And I'll still go for a guy like Teofimo over a guy like Tank Davis. Unfortunately, you got to understand the guy's older and everything else. But I don't think any of that matters. I think Teofimo's actually been in more real fights than Tank Davis. Again, I think he definitely has an edge in experience. He definitely has the edge as far as resume and things like that, accolades. But I think that's the fight to make right now. I don't understand why we're talking about this smokescreen Conor Benn fight. Like, who really wants to see that? You know, I know UK fan base, they really support their fighters and things like that, but that's a clown fight. I don't even know why we're talking about it right now. I want to see Tank versus Teofimo Lopez, you know, and that's all I got to say for now. I didn't even think about this when I dropped that last video, but whatever. Later.